2014 to 2025. Those have been the years the BJP has been in power. They're going to remain in power for another 4 years before the people realize that what they are professional wheel spinners of the first order. So today I'm going to tell everyone here the true reality of their rule. What have they actually done in these 10 years? Because 10 years, in fact 11 years now, 11 years is so long that it could have easily changed the entire state of our nation. But has it changed? No, it's not. 11 years is a lot of time, and don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. People will say, oh, to bring changes, it's going to take a long time. No, actually, let us be frank. It does not take a lot of time. It took the British 8 years to go from small holdings in India to the entire country. It took Alexander minimum years to take over the entire known world. It took Genghis Khan minimum years to go from being literally nobody to making the largest empire in history. It took few years for Facebook to become big, and it doesn't take a lot of time to affect changes. Actually, check out the track record, which they so often pride themselves they try to compare themselves to the predecessors. Let's see what they have done, because now 10 years is, you cannot say, oh, 10 years is too little time to judge a person. No, 10 years is enough time. 10 years is more than enough time to judge a person's actions. So let us see what they have done. First, India has been isolated more than ever. India has been in one of probably the weakest position it has been internationally, even in the so-called Congress rule, which BJP keep mocking and insulting all the time. India had more strength in the global stage than there is now. Where is the strength now? You don't see any strength. India has no allies now. And let us talk about the so-called India-Russia relationship. That's utterly false, promoted by the media. Because what happened in reality is that China and Russia are much stronger than before. China and Russia used to hate each other, and that wasn't even long. That was just few 30, 40 years ago. China and Russia hated each other, and India and Russia had a much older relationship than that, as you all know, in the famous event that happened in the 1971 war. And much before that, India had strong ties with the Soviet Union. Yet we have thrown that right into the gutter. And now many people will have this doubt in their mind. Why are you so pessimistic? Why are you always insulting India? Don't you know now that India is strong? We have respected in the global stage. When Modi speaks, the world listens. When India speaks, the world listens. And Indians are a powerful community all across the world. Modi has given us that respect and power. I understand why you feel this way. I understand how you feel this way, and it is not at all your fault. But this is the fault entirely of those who are manipulating the truth, those who consider party above nation, those who consider ideology over nation, those who consider their leader over the nation. They have succeeded in fooling the masses into blind belief, which is what they want. But the truth has never been further. All around the world, hatred against the Indian race is increasing on an alarming scale. Now, some of them try to justify this as saying it is a sign that we are becoming stronger, that we are being hated. That's not how this works. The entire black community today is weaker. African nations are still weaker than the Indian Republic. Yet, not a single one of them will ever be insulted, because the Westerners know what was the repercussions and what problems they will face if they reveal their racism. So, what has happened? That racism against the blacks have completely nearly died out, and they have gained acceptance in European and American society. But can we say the same about Indians? We are economically stronger, yet where are we? We are numerically superior, but this racism is in fact the only racism that's tolerated. Racism against Asians is looked down upon. Racism against blacks is looked down upon. Racism against any other race is looked down upon. Only against the Indian race is it permitted. And this is openly seen in social media, where if you could make any racist words against, say, a black, a Jew, an Asian, a Middle Easterner, a Muslim, whatever it is, the social media will shut you down right there. But you make racism against Indians and you will have nothing. In fact, the algorithm will award you with more likes and more reach. That is the reality. And this is not due to because India is becoming strong. India is getting more respect. No, no, it's not that. What happened is India is becoming more and more weak and is therefore become the world's punching bag. And who's to blame for this? The people in power. The people who have so-called increase India's respect and that who keep jumping all their chest and say so loudly, when India speaks, the world listens. Who is listening? No one is listening. My dear friend, no one is listening. Our social media diplomacy, headed by Laser Eye Man, has wrecked us totally. China is closing on us like a snake, like an anaconda and python, slowly tightening its grip around us. Look at every single country that borders India, from the Maldives to the Southeast Asia, to Pakistan to the Afghanistan, and even our old ally Russia. All of them are more and more turning to China, and they're all breaking away from India. And I don't see how this is a master stroke. I mean, can someone please explain to me how this is a master stroke? They can't, because it's not a master stroke. It is the biggest blunder. So let us say what happened in these 10 years is that our foreign policy has utterly broken and we are going down a path of doom. Now people will say the benefits is that due to them the terrorist attacks have reduced throughout India and that now terrorists are afraid of Indians. Terrorists think twice before attacking Indians. Terrorists are afraid of Indians. Terrorists piss their pants when they hear Modi's name. And now the entire Pakistan is scared, scared to death of the so-called of the power of BJP ruled India. And to this they contrast this very well. What happened in the 26/11 bombing attack, which is a horrible incident, and again the blame must be placed on the previous government of Manmohan Singh, where he released a joint statement with Pakistan condemning terrorism in all forms after the attack, which was indeed very humiliating for us, and this was not a response we needed from a true leader. And then they compared that with the recent attacks, the Uri attack, the Balakot attack, and what cleverly has been done that no matter how many times Modi seems to strike back at Pakistan, teaches the terrorists a lesson, they still keep coming back. After the Balakot airstrike, they again strike. After the Uri attack, they again strike. They again strike. And recently, the recent attack, why is that happening? Why is that happening? It shows that the terrorists are not scared and that the tactic has failed. Because what the tactic is nothing but a PR tactic. For it is not solving our problem of terrorism and not solving our problem of horrible relations with our neighboring country. And it is not solving the problem of getting our enemy nation, Pakistan, to stop this terrorism and finally give up their strategy of trying to cut India to 1,000 by bleeding India into 1,000 cuts. So it is clear that this strategy is failed. But has it failed? I mean, if we look at the perspective of stopping terrorist attacks for the nation, it has failed in that, yes. But has it failed in bringing BJP more popularity? No. And in that, it is a tremendous success. Contrast this. Now, I want to make it very clear that I am in no way trying to insult the army, trying to look down upon our country's retaliatory measures. No, 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 no. It is because I care for the country so much that I am seeking a permanent solution to terrorism and not just I slap you, you slap me, I slap you, you slap me. Both of our cheeks are becoming red. We need a slap that was going to knock the guy out. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I support. What I support is a slap that will knock the other guy out, not just slap me, slap you game. I don't like this circle spinning game. I'm searching for that one thing that will stop this forever. And that is true nationalism and that is true patriotism. What happens is the BJP media will call anyone anti national, betrayers of the nation, Deshdrohi, puppets of Pakistan, lovers of Pakistan, supporters of Muslim, to anyone who dares to criticize their tactics. But they do not know that many of them, many of them are actually the most nationalistic people because your nationalism can be judged because when your terrorism is still occurring in your nation and you are all you are interested in is saying, okay, you hit me, I hit you back, and not you hit me, I'm going to hit you so hard that you will never get up again. That is the difference between fake nationalism peddled by the BJP and real nationalism. I am that one who's searching for the real hard thing. Now, I know many people like me have the same beliefs, have the same correct gauging of the situation, yet they're afraid to say it out loud because of all the labels they can get and all the hate they're going to get. But that's fine with me. Call me whatever you want because I know that whatever label you put on me is like water. It's just gonna roll off me. It's gonna just drip down me and fall into the sand. It has no effect on me. Use whatever it is. But this simple truth is you are not finding a permanent solution and that is a mistake. And every time you do not find permanent solution, our soldiers, which who are basically the best men in our nation, the soldiers, these men who not for pay, not for any great achievement, not for any getting political power or not for getting fame, glory. No, they stand there only due to their love for our nation. They stand at the borders while we sit at home in our air conditioned room, and when we watch TV, they're out there watching the scopes for any terrorists peeking across the hills. And every time we lose a soldier, it is a pain on the nation, and it is a truly, truly sad thing because a soldier's life is extremely, extremely valuable in our nation. And what that is what we are searching for, a solution to stop our soldiers' lives from going in vain. And if you do not accept their strategy, you will be insulted with all the vilest of insults, anti-national, betrayer, puppet, spy, whatever it is, Deshdrohi, whatever it is. And I tell you, you have to be okay with it because we are fighting not for any party or for an ideology, but we are fighting for our common soldier and we are fighting for the betterment of our entire nation's fate, not on the next election. We do not care about the 2029 election. We care about the fate of the Indian Republic, the largest democracy in the world, and the country with the most amount of people and with one of the greatest histories in this world. That is what we are focused for. Talking about the strategy of using it as PR for electioneering and for fooling us, so good at using the media that they are expert in photo shoots. And I believe all Instagram models should go to the BJP office and ask them to teach them the basics of photo shoots because that's how good they are. Thus, you can see that whatever the tragedy, be it the recent and terrible and very disappointing air crash that's happened, and may God bless all the families and whose family members have perished unfortunately in the terrible tragedy that recently occurred in there. aeroplane crash, that no matter how horrible the incident is, no matter what it is, the BJP has a way of making that into a photo shoot. The BJP has a way of painting it as BJP is going to fix it. BJP is going to know. All they do is take photos. They have a way of photo shooting. They have a way of making all the bad situations for their own gain. They have a way of making, no matter how horrible the tragedy is, into their own political gain. And this is a very dangerous strategy, very, very dangerous trick. And thus it is established that whatever tragedy is there, the BJP is right there to jump and take some political advantage, no matter how irrelevant it is, such as the India Got Latent case, where the BJP jumped, where the Maharashtra CM openly spoke about it to reporters as if that was a big deal, as if that's the most that is something which a chief minister of a state of more than millions of people has to concern himself about. Shows that no matter what incident and no matter how stupid, silly, childish, irrelevant, the BJP will always jump to take political gain. I'm not going to be surprised tomorrow if some guy in Japan finds a insect in his noodles, then BJP, I'm sure they're going to jump on it and somehow they're going to connect it and say, that the guy who made the noodles was actually a Muslim. So he was doing noodle jihad over there. He was doing insect jihad over there. And then they're going to connect it somehow to the Congress and say, Rahul Gandhi had a secret meeting with this jihadi. So he's going to do noodle jihad in India also. So next time you go to a momo shop which is on the road, beware because noodle jihad can happen, momo jihad can happen. So this is what they're going to do. I'm not going to be surprised, and I'm telling you, watch out for all of these type of things. We are very clear that their strategy is that of PR and not of nation first. Now many people have forgotten, or to be more precisely, BJP has covered up its major blunders. And let us start with one of their most powerful blunders, which was one of the main reasons they came to power in 2014 in the first place, which is demonetization. The demonetization was one of the greatest blunders and failed feats a state, a nation, a government has done, a party has done in not just India but in the history of the world. The common people had to suffer. This guy, some guy who was just a cobbler on the side of the road, some guy who was selling vegetables on the side of the road, he had to wait for hours to exchange his money. Many times money was lost. Old woman used to wait in the lines. This is how it was. While the most funny thing is demonetization, which was promised to bring catch all the black money, catch all the corrupt, and clean the entire corrupt system of India, utterly failed and it had not a single effect. Demonetization had no effect. And need I say more about what a spectacular failure it is and how conveniently demonetization is ended up? You will not, I swear, you will not find one person speaking about demonetization to this day, even though the fact is it just happened literally 9 years ago and it was such a huge event, yet no one will speak because it's been hidden so carefully. No black money was caught. The corrupt, in fact, benefited some more, and money. It is very, it's a very sad story. They also promised for Achidin, and they sold the entire Achidin on this so-called Gujarat model. They said, Modi said that what I did in Gujarat, the Gujarat model, I will do for the entire India. And this is what a lot of people voted for the BJP for in 2014. But the fact is, they have not done Achidin. They have not done Achidin at all. Look at Gujarat model. Gujarat is a state which, even after more than 15 years of BJP rule, is still lagging behind in Tamil Nadu and certain states in many factors. That is not a Gujarat model, that is just a normal state. That is that is not a tremendous feat like how it was portrayed by the BJP. No, in the so-called in Gujarat, yet there is still caste atrocities, which Modi and BJP has vehemently denied. They have said that they have eradicated caste, and Gujarat is basically a utopia. That's how they paint it. But as we know, recently there was a man who was beaten. The only change that has happened, the biggest change is that it's the industry and economy of Gujarat has now been monopolized heavily by who else other than the bros and best buddies of the BJP. Now, so far, everything I've said will probably make me one of the most hated people, and that is okay. The BJP supporters are going to thump their chest on social media as loud as they can to criticize people like us. But the fact is that most people are fed up with lies, and that those people who criticize us are just a tiny minority of people. They're going to call us whatever labels it may be: anti-national, Deshdrohi, anti-Hindu, which is very funny. I find that pro-Pakistan, traitor, sold out, spy, whatever it is. Do not let them defame you. Do not let them get into the head. Do not think they have any truth, because the truth, they do not have 1% of strength in their words. And every time they defame you, every time they insult you, just know that it makes them weaker and makes you stronger. And wear those insults with pride, because we know that we truly care about our nation. We are not loyal to any party, we are not loyal to any ideology, but we are nation first. And we will protect our democracy. We will protect our democracy and we will protect our nation. No masterstroke, no masterstroke from the BJP can take this away from us. They cannot take away our nation and they cannot take away our democracy. So go ahead and be totally bold and brave when standing up to these. Expose and speak the truth. And the people initially will dislike you for speaking the truth, and that's fine. But with time, they will see the truth in your words and they will appreciate what you have done for them. That is what we must do. We must put our nation first. We must put our Indian culture first. We have to put our people first, from the lowest beggar, the poorest beggar, to the most menial farmer, to the most remotest villager, to a middle class man, to every single profession, no matter who they are, which caste they're from, which whoever they are, which state they're from, whatever they are. We must put them first, not a leader, not a showman first. That's what we must do. So get ready for the insults. Get ready for the storm that will come at you online. The horrible memes that will insult you, insult your character, insult everything irrelevant about you. Get ready for it. And if that's happening to you, it's a sign. It's a sign that what you're doing is right. Because only if you're doing something right can you invite their wrath. So do not fear from their insults and wear it proudly.